Hi, welcome to the last step before you publish your little booklet about a recipe for revolution. For this step, you need the directions for how to prepare your recipe. You also need your assignment task number 3, where you converted your food recipe ingredients into your revolution ingredients. Step 1 of my directions says preheat the oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, 175 degrees Celsius. Because my two revolutions started in two different centuries and in two different continents or countries, I'm going to use that in my directions to prepare my recipe. So that sentence becomes, in 1688 England, preheat the oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. In parentheses, I put 175 degrees Celsius in 1823 Brazil. So I just added both locations and dates. Next, it tells me to sift flour and brown sugar into a bowl. So now I need to take out flour and brown sugar and put into my substitutions for sugar and flour. So here, my substitute for flour is peaceful transfer in the government. So I went back up into the directions, took out the word flour, and put in the substitute. And it says, sift a peaceful transfer in the government. Now I'm going to take out brown sugar and replace it with whatever I have for brown sugar, which is desire for independence. So now my first direction says, sift a peaceful transfer in the government and desire for independence into a bowl. Where did I get that information from? My step 3, where I substituted each of the food recipe ingredients for my Venn diagram similarities. Let's do another one. The next substitute is eggs for unfair treatment. So in the directions, my next step says stir in eggs. Of course, I'm going to take out the word egg, and I replaced it with unfair treatment. So now it reads stir in unfair treatment. Next, it says mix butter into flour. So I need to substitute butter and flour by using step 3. Flour is already peaceful transfer in the government, and butter is political dissatisfaction. So that part reads, mix political dissatisfaction into the peaceful transfer in the government mixture until the dough is creamy. Next, it says fold in chocolate chips. So I go back to my assignment step 3, and for chocolate chips, I have semi-controlling government. So now it's time to plug that in to the directions. And so that part reads, fold in the semi-controlling governments. The next part can stay the same. Spoon the dough into a baking sheet, keeping them apart 3 inches. About 3 inches apart. Finally, bake in the preheated oven until slightly brown, 10 to 15 minutes cool. So now we got to find some kind of way to end it with our 2 revolutions. So for the last step, I just said bake each revolution in the preheated oven until slightly brown. Plan to bake your revolution issues for 10 to 15 minutes. Cool, then your groups are ready to revolt. That's the last step.